Okay.
We're back, I guess. I think Eugene, are you
Much
back?
better. Much better.
Ramjoo's Diaries, May 25th, 1924. Go ahead, Mayor Daruvala. I know
Okay.
it's late in Mumbai.
May 20. The atmosphere does not improve. It was no better than yesterday. On the contrary, the matter resumed seriousness when, in the afternoon, Rustam returned with the news that his father has not definitely agreed to transfer the land into Adi's name, on the grounds that Baba thinks him to be very faithless as not to trust him. Baba again started the plan of going to Bombay or some other place suitable for fruit gardening there to buy. Labor yoga at Arangaon, a fertile piece of land, and passed the time cultivating fruit orchards. This time Adi lost his head and told Baba, "You are simply seeking excuses to quit the place, and if you think it now unsuitable, why did you at all select it first for at this Gustaji interrupted Adi for talking in talking
Oh,
in the strain.
Mayor,
I think I left a line.
Mayor, go back to this, okay?
Okay. This
You
time
missed a
Adi
line.
lost his head and told Baba, "You are simply seeking excuses to quit the place, and if you think it is now suitable, why did you at all select it first for your permanent camp?" At this, Gustachi interrupted Adi for talking in the strain, now a regular passage at arms between Adi and Gustachi began. Baba interviewed and ordered Adi to keep quiet, but in the heat of rage, Adi overlooked Baba's words and kept on retorting to Gustachi. At this, Baba gave a ring slap, consoled Adi lovingly. When the latter
Oh,
burst,
Mayor, you missed a line.
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
At Baba gave a ring slap at Adi. I read that to Adi, who stopped talking completely. Afterwards, Baba consoled Adi lovingly. When the latter burst into tears, Rustam was again sent to his father. After some time, I was also asked by Baba to see Khan Sahib myself, and Rustam returned with a written note from Khan Sahib to Baba saying that he was most willing to act as Baba said, and that there had been some topic ended with the decision of staying here permanently. A picnic.
Mayor, you
Yeah,
missed another line. Read
I
from
didn't. I
here.
was reading. I read it. I read it. After some time, I was asked by Baba to see Khan Sahib. I read
Slow
it.
down, please. Slow down.
1 minute. Khan Sahib to Baba saying that he was most willing to act. Baba said that there had been some topic ended with the decision of staying here permanently. Uh, uh, a picnic party arranged for Baba and some of the Mandali to go to Aurangabad by motor cars tomorrow.
Thanks, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. Let me just repeat this. After some time, I was also asked by Baba to see Khan Saheb. Myself and Rustam returned with a written note from Khan Saheb to Baba saying that he was most willing to act as Baba said, and that there had been some misunderstanding with regard to his first reply to Baba. The topic ended with the decision of staying here permanently. A picnic party is arranged for Baba and some of the Mandali to go to Aurangabad by motor cars tomorrow. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, my computer is messing up so bad today. May 26, 1924. Baba and about 13 more from the Mandali started this morning at about 5:30 in the 2 Ford cars for Aurangabad and Daulatabad caves as prearranged. The rest of us left here took to our daily routines, took to our routine duties, and without any untoward event, the day ended. To keep up the sequence of Baba's movements, I reproduce hereunder some pages from Adi's diary. On the way to Aurangabad, we came across the Imampur Ghats. 12 miles away from Imampur, there appears the village of Godegaon, where we halted for some time with a view to take tea. But milk could not be had there, so we proceeded on. The next halt was at Toka. Toka is divided into halves by a river, one portion belonging to the British, with the opposite half beyond the river belonging to the Nizam. The river is without a bridge, so the cars are driven down very carefully and slowly over a zigzag and very precipitous slope. And similarly, the vehicles are climbed up over the other slope. Finally, the camp of Aurangabad is reached. We alighted at the inspection bungalow, but finding the charges to be very heavy, we repaired towards the station rest house. On the way, we moved about in the camp and city in search of something for our dinner and dal rice for Baba. With much difficulty and amidst continuous bustle created by Baba to make haste, we managed to get some rice and dal. Next, some sweetmeat is brought for the Hindus, and bread, butter, and jam for the rest. We reach the rest house and help ourselves with the dinner. Baba also took some of the dal rice. After taking rest, Baba asked the Mandali's opinion whether to proceed on to the Ellora caves near Daulatabad or return to Nagar, because, he continued, his state is very much under depression, and so he finds no interest in further excursions. Yet, to please some enthusiasts among us, Yet to please some enthusiasts among us, he accompanied us in the evening to Daulatabad. On the way, Abdal Tayyeb's car fails. So Sarosh, who drives the other car, stops too and runs to the former to make up the disorder. In the meantime, Baba ordered me, Adi, to drive our car. Without looking back, I tried to reverse the car before starting away. And to my great amazement, it struck against a tree. The shock reduced the bent wood of the hood to pieces. Baba reproached me for not stopping the car in spite of his repeated shouts to do so, and ordered me never to drive a car in my life. Until today, I was driving a car against his will. He never totally checked me from doing so, lest I should take it ill. But now the ban is on for good against my driving any car. Anyhow, we again start for our destination. A little later, near Daulatabad, a tire tube gives way. It is about 6 p.m., and still a considerable distance is to be covered to reach the caves. Baba says it is inadvisable to proceed further in the dark and then return late in the night. So after changing the punctured tube, we return to the rest house and pass the night there. Baba's condition is getting worse, and he passes a sleepless night. May 27, 1924. Adi's diary is continued. At 5 in the early morning, we started back for Nagar. Tayyeb's car gave much trouble on the return journey. It got punctured tires several times, and by Godegaon, Padri had to fix the tubes a dozen times. Here Baba reminded us of our dinner and sent Patel and Doctor to the village to fetch some eatables for us. They returned after a long time, bringing millet breads. At this, Baba reproachfully complained that none remembered his dal rice. None even asked him whether he needed anything. We were partaking of the millet breads in the meanwhile, and Baba was feeling very restless and uneasy. He shouted to Sarosh to drive the car soon. Sarosh started it at once, and Patel had to run a short distance to overtake the moving car. The other car was still left behind for repairs, and we proceeded on. We came to a small village and procured a little quantity of dal rice, which Baba refused to eat, but kept on asking for fresh dal rice, which was not available. Before the Imampur Ghats were fully crossed, our car failed too. And so we pushed it for some time, after which we came to a traveler shelter. Here we took rest while Gustaji prepared fresh dal rice for Baba. After nearly an hour, Baba took the meal. The other party left behind had still not arrived. After an hour or two more, the car at last came, with only Jal and Rustum in it, the rest following it on foot, with blankets, coats, etc., stuffed in the tires, as the tubes would no longer contain air. Sarosh here put on some new tubes and we started. Thus ends Adi's diary entry. Mayor Karan, could you pick up from here, please?
Yeah, we started. So this picnic party at last came to Arangaon in the afternoon in a sorry plight, covered with mud and thoroughly shaken up. May 28, 1924. The unsteady atmosphere continues as it has for the last 2 days. Baba does not seem to be at peace. He is talking today of going away to some other place, and Kashmir is the latest favorite. Baba continues to talk about Kashmir and the prospect of staying there with the Mandali at an orchard where the Mandali can be engaged in fruit gardening for an occupation. Every now and then, opinions are asked for. Some prefer a change of atmosphere, and some declare to be satisfied with the existing surroundings of Mehrabad. Rustum and Adi are the principal leaders of the later group. For the present, however, the matters stand as they are, and no immediate change has been arrived at. May 29, 1924. Today again, the main topic of discussion between the Mandali and Baba is about Kashmir. When Rustum comes, he is found to be of a depressed mental state. Baba gets more disappointed with Rustum for his present mood and tells him that if he, Rustum, is depressed in his company, he should better give him up and follow the worldly life. Baba then, addressing the rest of us, asked, "Who else is under mental depression in my company?" Many hands were raised up, including my own, to say that we were not in the best of spirits. At this, Baba advised all those who had declared themselves tired to give him up. But the day passed on without any unusual incident. May 30th, 1924. Kashmir continues to be discussed. Its beautiful scenery, fine gardens, and snow-clad mountains, when described, win more words in its favor. Passages from Swami Vivekananda's life are read out concerning his tour in this picturesque land. But later on, Quetta becomes a hot favorite as we are already acquainted with the same. A wire is sent to Rusi at Quetta inquiring of any available fruit gardens with a bungalow suitable for Baba and Mandali's stay. Baba decides to immediately start for Quetta by car with Ardeshir, Padri, Dr. Rustam, and Sarosh, and to make preliminary arrangements for the rest of the Mandali to follow on later by train. Rustam is instructed to equip a car with necessary accessories for this huge spin across India to Balochistan, and to bring the car with Sarosh to start tomorrow. But the plan is soon upset by the arrival of Sarosh in the afternoon. He repeats the awful row he had with his father, who strongly objected to his having accompanied Baba to Aurangabad. Hence, the question of his Sarosh's further accompanying Baba to Quetta or Kashmir in the car was impossible. So the question of going to Quetta by car has been dropped. But the general arrangement to leave this place has now secured unanimous acceptance. When Baba related the fresh incident of Sarosh having been taken to task by his father for accompanying him and asked the Mandali once again their opinion as to the advisability of staying here permanently, all replied in the negative with one voice. Third tour, North India, May 31st, 1924. It is finally decided today that tomorrow or the day after, Baba with a few of the Mandali will start for Bombay en route to Quetta by railway. When all necessary arrangements are completed at Quetta, the rest of the Mandali will be wired when they are also to follow suit. The days pass busily making preparations for the big journey. June 1st, 1924. Most of the day passed in new arrangements and instructions by Baba to those who were to follow him after some time. Gustaji and Rustam were given all the details by Baba as to whom to bring with them and how, as also what to do with unnecessary things because the Aurangam affair is to be completely wound up. The fate of Sufi and Sant, the horse and bullock, has also been decided. They are to be sent away to Sakkori and offered to Sri Maharaj. June 2nd, 1924. Goodbye to Aurangabad. Baba, together with Ardeshir, the now indispensable Director of Agriculture, Doctor, myself, and Wajif Dar started from Ahmednagar station by the morning train for Bombay via Manmad. We got a whole small compartment to ourselves till Manmad, which we comfortably reached by 12:30. In spite of being third-class passenger, Wajifdar, under Baba's instructions, had succeeded in inducing the guard to wire ahead for vegetables, curry, and rice to be kept ready for us at Manmad. Consequently, a wholesome food was found to be ready for us. Immediately after reaching Manmad, we repaired to the Bombay passenger that was already ready on the opposite platform. Finding a commodious military carriage empty, save for a few passengers, we made ourselves comfortable there and also paid full justice to the hot food served by the refreshment room there. With all these smooth circumstances, which are rarely encountered when out with Baba, I could not help but remark to Doctor that this journey is going to prove exceptionally comfortable. Little did I know the hot time awaiting us very shortly. As soon as Diolali was reached, Baba sent one of us to get tea and another one for papers. In the meantime, without previous notice, the railway authorities all of a sudden asked us and some other passengers to vacate, as the carriage is to be detached here. The already overcrowded rest of the third-class carriages in the train gave little hopes of our being able to squeeze in with all the luggage with us. So Baba asked me to arrange for the second class difference to be paid. I approached the guard and informed him of our plight and our intention to resume the journey in second class from Diolali, for which we will pay the difference. But the worthy, against the general practice of certifying passengers in such emergency at the end of the journey, insisted upon my paying the difference there and then to the local booking clerk on the plea of there being ample time. In the meantime, the carriage was already detached and shunted onto adjoining rails without letting us completely clear our luggage. From the guard, I rushed to the booking office where the clerk told me I would miss the train if I paid the difference here, and it would take time to prepare the receipt. And he further advised us to occupy second class irrespective of the guard's words. Back, I rushed to the train on the opposite platform as the signal was down. I found Baba in the second compartment with a tiffin basket, bedding, etc. But at the same time, I still marked Wajifdar, Doctor, and Adirshir struggling with the luggage at the engine end of the train when the train whistled. Unfortunately, I informed Baba that the rest of them had not boarded the train. At this, Baba hurriedly got down and I removed the things from the moving train and it rolled away. After regaining my breath, I looked for Doctor and the party, but there was no sign of them. I ran to the detached carriage, but to no purpose. For some time, I was greatly excited and dumbfounded but gradually began to have an idea of the situation. The moment Baba and myself were getting down from the second class compartment, it seems Wajibdar and party managed to squeeze in the train after all.
Thank you, Mayor. Ralph, could you read? Or are you reading today?
I'm muted. Okay. Third tour, North India. Dumbfounded, but gradually. Is this where Maher left off? What were his last words he read?
You can start from on hearing all this.
Oh, squeezing the train after all. On hearing all this, Baba became a little cross at first, but then absorbed himself in the newspapers and asked me to do the needful in the matter. I sent a telegram to Igatpuri as I had all the tickets with me. Later, Baba asked me to see if a car was available to go to Igatpuri. The station master said I might get one if I went to the bazaar, but it would cost me more than rupees 20. And he added, I can't understand why you're in a hurry to reach Igatpuri. You can't get a train for Bombay now. Save at 9 o'clock. But Baba's viewpoint in getting away from Deolali station was different. His distinguished appearance would certainly have attracted attention and disturbed his solitude. Hence, it was finally decided to go to Lahit, the next station from Deolali, toward Igatpuri. Accordingly, I engaged a carriage and both of us started from Deolali at about 4:30. After a mile or two of comfortable carriage drive on the smooth metalled road, the carriage turned into a sidetrack through some fields. The carriage driver informed us when remonstrated with that this was the best road leading to Lahit. Being strangers, we could not but help take the driver at his word. The journey became more and more uncomfortable as we advanced through stream beds. After about 1 hour more of tossing in the carriage over fields in a zigzag drive, the driver gave it up and said he had lost his way to Lahit. Instead of taking him to task, Baba paid him something more than his agreed upon fare for Lahit, and discharged him. From here, Baba and I crossed over to the railway line, which could be seen at a distance of half a mile, and continued our march toward Lahit along the railway line on foot. Although I offered to carry the basket with us throughout the tramp, Baba insisted upon sharing the burden and thus carried the same on his august head from time to time. About sunset, we reached the Lahit railway station. I advanced while Baba took rest near the cabin. At first, the station master hesitated to shelter us, but I succeeded in making him believe our situation and also informed him about Baba's personality, as he seemed to know and have respect for Hazrat Sai Baba of Shirdi. The station master, after personally coming into Baba's contact, was much impressed and seemed willing to provide us with food. Baba asked him, through me, to provide us with food, providing he accepted whatever would be given to him. Would someone else like to continue, or you want me? In return, would be whatever would be given to him in return. I see. Okay. At first, the station master refused to accept anything in return, but I explained to him that either he should consider it as prasad or keep it aside and give it to anybody else deserving the same. Otherwise, Baba would not take his food. At this, he accepted from Baba a 10 rupee note and served me with good fresh food after some time. The local cabin man, being very fond of devotional songs, with Baba's permission, local cabin man being very fond of devotional songs, with Baba's permission, he brought his stringed instrument and for an hour recited poems with great feeling and devotion. At this time, the whole station staff, from the Brahmin station master to the low caste menial staff, gathered round Baba and sat, listening to the songs reverently. By telephone, through the station master, we came to know that our companions had safely reached Igatpuri and were waiting to join us, while Vajif Dar had already left for Deolali by the mail. Vajif Dar was also informed at Deolali about us, and when he returned by the passenger, capital P by the passenger, myself and Baba joined him at Lahit. At 10, we reached Igatpuri and joined all the others and then proceeded to Bombay by the same train. In spite of some inconvenience, the adventure provided a fine walk amongst the Deolali Hills and a simple but devotional song fest in the calm and quiet atmosphere of Lahit. June 4th, 1924. It's amazing.
Thanks so much, Ralph. That was awesome. Love your
Jai
reading.
Baba.
Yeah. Anne Elizabeth, are you reading today? Could you unmute?
I can read. I was trying to find out how to pronounce what I would call Lahit, but I think it's Lahit, but they've got a Turkish pronunciation and some other ones, but I didn't finish looking it up. Anyway, okay. It either means sickle or lucky boy. Okay, we safely reached Bombay this morning and put up in the Irani mansions number 6 at Dadar. Preparations are in full swing. Quetta, June 6, 1924. Actually, is that Quetta or Quetta? Does someone know? Marwan, Kiran, do you know?
Yeah, Quetta.
Quetta. Okay, thank you. According to the latest arrangement, Doctor is to stay at home until the rest of the Mandali are called and then to join them and come to Quetta. So he left for Lanavla this afternoon. Adi, who is to accompany us to Quetta, has also come to Bombay. After all arrangements for our journey and that of the Mandali to follow us are completed by Baba in every detail, Baba, myself, Adi, and Ardeshar leave Bombay this evening for Quetta by the Gujarati mail. June 7th, 1924. The morning finds us at Ahmedabad juncture. We change into the Ahmedabad Hyderabad direct carriage of the meter gauge railway mail to Delhi, and proceed on our journey. In the evening, Marwar Junction is reached, where a carriage is detached from the Delhi mail and attached to the JB railway train, which after some time starts for Hyderabad, crossing the great barren desert of Rajputana. June 8, 1924. We reached Hyderabad this morning. The following telegram is sent to Rusi under Baba's instructions. Mayor Baba and 3 reaching Quetta 9th. Arrange our undisturbed passing through Sibi. Inform none save Feroz Shah. Avoid ceremonial reception. Keep matter strictly private. This precaution for privacy is necessary to ensure solitude to Baba, whom so many people at Quetta already hold in esteem since his last visit. Soon we board the Quetta mail from Karachi and leave Hyderabad. I think when they say these trains with mail in it, they're actually mail trains. They're not very luxurious trains, is my understanding. June 9th, 1924. We awoke this morning at Sibi Junction, and thanks to the telegram to Rusi and the subsequent arrangements, we were spared the special police inquiries which are made of every passenger who wants to cross the frontier. At about 5, we reached Quetta, and according to instructions, were quietly driven to Rusi's place. The lavish hospitality of our host soon made us forget the long journey of 3 days, and we were quite at home by the evening. June 10th, 1924. The particular garden approved by all when we were here the last time, and which was decided to be taken for our permanent stay here, is not available. Moreover, on inquiries on the spot as to its general climate, Quetta is almost enveloped in ice, and for people used to a hot climate, deaths from pneumonia were a trifling affair. Hence again, discussions take place, and finally, succour is decided upon by Baba. There are possibilities of Munshi also coming there in the capacity of head storekeeper in connection with the barrage works at Succour. According to these fresh developments, Baba asked me and Ardeshir to proceed to Succour to select a suitable site, as well as make other inquiries on the spot. Feroz Shah provided us with an introductory note to a friend of his at Succour, and after taking Baba's permission, we both leave Quetta this evening for Succour. June 11th, 1924. We reached Succour this morning and repaired to the traveler's shelter. After depositing our bedding in a room under lock and key and having our breakfast, we went out in search of Mobedji, for whom we had the note. We found him easily and delivered the note. After going through the contents and getting more information from us as to the object of our mission, he promised to take us to one of his friends who could help us more, he said. However, he gave his own opinion about being unsuitable for our purpose because of the great heat. However, he was good enough to introduce us to Mr. Rustamji, the manager of the local firm of Messrs. Raleigh Brothers. This latter gentleman proved a very kind, hospitable, and obliging man who immediately put us in touch with a leading broker by name Mr. Holoram, who perfectly resembles a buffalo with his extremely short form and big belly. Although physically out of form, Mr. Holoram seems to have a brain in a very good form. Now, this Holoram again introduced us to his cousins, who asked him to take us round the principal places suitable for a garden in and around Sukar. Thus, after these introductions and counter-introductions, we at last set forth on our mission. Sukar is situated along the great river Indus. The chief commercial houses of import and export mainly occupy the riverside, with their offices and go-downs along the shady road running right on the banks of the river. Here and there on the banks, some bathing steps and jetties are scattered. The river plays a great part as a highway for draining India's raw wealth to foreign countries, and a very large quantity of goods is transported in country ships between different cities and towns situated along this great river. Under the direction of our guide, we engaged a small boat and crossed the Indus to the other side of the river, which our guide says contains the principal fruit gardens. Upon reaching the other side, we found huge pieces of land cultivated with date, plantain, mango, and other coarse fruit trees. It would be appropriate to say fruit jungle, which stretched for a couple miles along this bank of the river. We passed about an hour in inspecting 2 or 3 of the gardens, but none was found to be suitable for our purpose, and we returned.
Thanks,
Okay.
Elizabeth. Thanks.
Oh, you're welcome.
We'll pick up here next week.
What in the world is a fruit garden? I mean, I guess they're talking about farms, fruit farms or something.